this place. If my mom saw it now, oh God, it's ugly. It's just, I need help. No, not Craigslist. That is so 2007. What did I hear about on NPR? TaskRabbit, yes. Good, this person gets 5 stars. Reasonable price, and they're available tomorrow. Description of task. Need help cleaning a pretty messy 1-bedroom apartment. Done and done. Okay, so look. The ad I posted on TaskRabbit said I needed help cleaning a pretty messy 1-bedroom apartment. Sure, maybe I was downplaying my own level of, what's the word? Honestly, there's only really one word for it. Squalor. Fine, so I admit I could have been more forthcoming. But when you pay someone to help you clean, isn't there some expectation at least that they will not shame you? I mean, to begin with, I'm an anti-capitalist adjunct professor with lots of cultural capital but not a lot of money. I'm also a middle-class white person with radical principles. I have well-grounded reservations just around the fact that I need to hire someone to help me clean and not a lot of resources to spare. I mean, were it not for the squalor, I would not have hired her. I want to be the type of person who doesn't need help cleaning. I want to be self-sufficient. I just can't be. She was my second TaskRabbit. The first one, months ago, worked out so well I continued to pay her without the auspices of the website so she could get the full amount I could afford. We had things in common. She was bipolar, too, like me. She was attending a community college I used to teach at, and we talked about her professors, some that I knew. We talked about graphic novels. Eventually, she found better work and stopped cleaning my apartment for me monthly, but I ran into her at Pride, and as it turned out, we had friends in common. We marched together and caught up. See, it is possible to have a judgment-free cleaning experience. I want to tell you about the squalor. I really do. I know you're curious, and I know this would be a better story if you could picture it. But the thing is, I don't know what kind of TaskRabbit you are. And if it comes down to it, it all goes back to my mother, as it all so often does. I have had 4 people altogether help me clean my apartment since I started living alone 5 years ago. 2 of them were TaskRabbits, 2 of them were friends or friends of friends. I couldn't have the friend help. Too triggering. There was transference. I was a transferee rabbit. The friend of the friend was great. No nonsense, no judgment. So okay, half of the helpers were judgeless, half of them felt a bit shameful. It's a small sample size. Maybe the same will go with you. It's not that I don't want to keep a clean apartment. After it's been improved and never fully organized, it's far too big a job for the several hours I can afford. I always feel better. I sleep better, I am happy about my life, I feel content, cared for, nurtured. When I was little, my mom would constantly berate me for my messy room. She even threw a shoe once. She used it to compare me to my father, who she had divorced. Sometimes it was punishment, maybe half the time. Those times I would be filled with shame and have to do my best to tackle the piles of books and stuffed animals and clusterfuck of intermingling dirty and clean clothes. I had no skills to organize. She didn't teach me, but got angry when I didn't learn. My messy room was something else too, though. An unconscious SOS to my mothership about the wrongs of my father against me. Wrongs I couldn't even see until I grew out of puberty. So sometimes, maybe half the time, my mom would sit down with me, sort, help, nurture, care. The room would be repaired together, and I would sleep easy. I know I can't get a task mom, a mom rabbit. I know I need to teach myself. Okay, are you ready? So, picture this. An explosion of clothes in the center of a bedroom, spilling out of a hamper and onto the floor, piles of books on and off bookshelves, a bicycle against one wall with more clothes hanging off its back basket. Living room. Unopened mail strewn all over the coffee table, spilling onto the floor, piles and piles of more books, magazines, Trader Joe's reusable bags. I wouldn't say I'm a hoarder because I'm in denial. No, but really, I do get rid of stuff eventually, it just accumulates again. I'm just not into daily or weekly practices of cleaning because I associate it with the shitstorms of my childhood. The kitchen is probably the worst place. Dishes left undone for days, dried gunk in the bowls and Tupperware. I am forever washing forks and spoons. I don't have a ready supply. Often, there are fruit flies. The floor is usually a sticky expanse of regret. The refrigerator leaks, which to be fair is not entirely my fault, but it leaves a puddle of water, so I keep a dish rag at its foot to soak up the excess at all times. I keep thinking I'm getting better, or it's not always as bad as this snapshot. Sometimes I do the dishes. I always do the laundry when I'm out of clean clothes, but there's just too damn many of them. I need a purge. Sometimes I recycle the junk mail, but it was this bad when the shame rabbit came over. She was charming and chatty when I greeted her at the door of my building, but when she crossed the threshold into my apartment, she looked like she immediately regretted that decision. She blinked, she staggered, she said, "Wow, okay." "I know it's bad," I said. "I thought I'd be cleaning, not," she searched for the word, "organizing," she said, though the subtext was clear. This is more than organizing. This is some other word. This is reality television. There was an awkward silence. "I'm gonna have to renegotiate my price," she said. "This isn't what I expected." Now, if I could have paid my mom not to judge me and just help me out, believe me, I would have done it. If parental approval accepts Visa or MasterCard, I am in. "Oh, of course," I said, "I'll pay more." So she scrubbed while I sorted and decluttered and shot my demo for Hoarders, Adjunct Professor Edition. But I was also sick that day, and if it had been another rabbit, I would have taken it easy. But with this one, I felt like I had something to prove. I urgently organized the bedroom and living room while she spent all her time deep cleaning the kitchen and bathroom. The result was good. The result felt like an approximation of care. I slept better that night. At the end, she asked, "So, do you have people coming over for the holidays or something?" I said, "No, it was just time to clean." It felt like the implication was that I would only take care of things and myself if it meant I was showing it off to another person, which is partially true, but I didn't want her to notice that. It is the same thing as someone seeing the fruit flies or learning my family secrets. My friend with a physical disability is an ally of mine, as I consider my bipolar an invisible disability. She says it's okay to need help, and maybe my apartment is just the place where my disability is most visible. Except that it's not visible to anyone, really, except me, my cats, and the rabbits. That's the problem. My habits and issues with TaskRabbits are keeping me from inviting people over. I put it off, say, "Oh, some other time, soon. Let's meet at a cafe. Let's go on a hike. Let's go eat out. How about a park? Let's go to your place." And when I do have someone I want to take, into my bedroom, I've gotten it together by the time I'm ready to go there. I've made it manageable. I put in the hours with the TaskRabbit. But as the romantic relationship fizzles or fades to black, the mess builds again. It's a comfort, a nest. The mess keeps me addicted to shame. The mess is also a way to keep people out, to avoid the daily rituals of closeness with friendship. But I want to let people in. I want people to see all the books on my shelves. I want to loan them my favorites, and I want them to stay for tea or dinner. The SOS has become my castle wall instead. Except wait, I showed you, I told you, you've seen the fruit flies, and I have let a handful of people other than rabbits across the threshold when the apartment is waxing crazy or full moon throttle chaos. They're still in my life, but there is fracture here. My bones are splintered. I wrap my legs with gauze and plaster of Paris. I am bulky and unwieldy. I cannot dance with you the way I'd like. But you'd only know if I opened the door. I will always need these crutches. Thank you.